This is IQMZ Tech, episode 13, recorded Sunday, the 9th of December, 2018. Hello and welcome to IQMZ Tech, the show where we talk about some of the biggest tech news stories with people who are passionate about all things electronic.
Yo, what up, everyone? Jay Stone, a.k.a. Doctor.
And I'm Anthony Lemos, a.k.a. Amos, because it's just been that kind of week. I'm happy to be talking at all if you can't hear the frog in my voice. And
hip-hop, frogs, all day.
So it's been a couple weeks since we did a show with Thanksgiving and Black Friday sales and you trying to scam everything off of Amazon, but we'll get to that here in a minute. Chinese researcher He Jiankui, I'm sure I screwed that up, claims he has modified the DNA of twin girls in an effort to make them resistant to the AIDS virus. This led to Chinese Minister of Science and Technology Zhu Nanping, probably screwed that up too, to order an investigation into the claims, stating that the experiment crossed the line of morality and ethics adhered to by the academic community and was shocking and unacceptable.
But was it though? I mean, okay, first and foremost, are you for or against this stuff?
I hold a neutral stance because I cherish the science itself and the ability to create to eliminate health problems, but then I'm too cynical about the usage of it to fully embrace it.
Man, go ahead and make Jurassic Park right now. Splice my DNA, make 3 more of me, make 4 of my kids, make my kid stronger, faster, whatever. Of course, you're going to mess up and make like 3 mutants and you might raise the dead, but go ahead and do it. I mean, this harkens me back to stem cell research and you're just killing the babies and you're against God. And now look, regular doctors got radio promos with, stem cell rehealing, rejuvenation, da-da-da-da-da. Don't stop science, bro. Let's get it popping. Let's make lion monkeys and like eagle dogs. Like, I don't care. Just let's go. Let's go. I want to order my perfect baby, have it delivered on site.
Oh, yeah? That'll be another Black Friday sale?
Oh, all day, every day. 2 times on Sunday. Like, I need my baby to be brunette, 6'4", 5% body fat. Yeah, I mean, little chub is all right, but not a lot. You know what I mean?
5% isn't any chubs. That's barely any insulation under the skin. It's a little something. I could have said 0, but I'm not looking for perfection. See what I'm saying? I'm not looking for perfection. I'm just trying to get what I want on paper. I am all for this. It's got to start somewhere. And I think the problem was that this leaked out. I think they do this everywhere. Same thing with cloning and stuff like that. I'm all for it. Just let's have it out in the open, do proper testing. Let's get it popping. I think my big problem is that so like Monsanto, they copyright their genetic code and then they put it in a situation where they can't control their own copyrighted genetic sequence, and it goes into everywhere else, and then they start suing other people. And I don't want that to happen again, but we haven't even figured that part of it out yet because, Monsanto, they give a lot of money to politicians, and so they're still in business.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I mean, I'm not worried about the logistics right now. I'm just worried about cloning things I want cloned. Okay.
Fair enough.
I want to bring my dog back. Leah's 2 fell out the other day. I just vacuum seal one of those because I got to make another one. You know what I'm saying? Like, just the little things. I need this testing popping so it gets cheaper and I can get it on Amazon Prime in like 5 or 6 years. So I'm all for it.
According to a TechCrunch report, the U.S. government tried to force Facebook to add a backdoor to its Messenger app so the feds could listen in on an encrypted real-time voice call between suspected MS-13 gang members. The attempt failed when Facebook pushed back, and now the ACLU has filed a motion to unseal aspects of the case relating to the legal grounds the Justice Department used to try to compel Facebook and the reason the courts pushed back. This is more interesting to me than babies being spliced in China.
Okay. Tell me about it.
Well, the thing here, and I think the ACLU is on the right grounds. They're not trying to get information about the suspected gang members or anything else. They're wanting to know what legal grounds the feds use to try to compel Facebook, and how Facebook won by pushing back, and what arguments they used pushing back. And I think this is one of those things where if the government can force a backdoor into everything, then the government can control everything, and they can monitor and everything else. And I'm not all in on the information state, in the monitoring and everything else. But on the other hand, I mean, if you really want to go secure, then you need to develop your own way of doing it, not going through one of these companies, these third-party companies.
So first things first, how did they even know they were on Messenger? Making phone calls.
Well, that could have been, somebody in the gang saying this is how we communicate or whatever else. There's a lot of ways they could have found out they were using Messenger to make phone calls.
Yeah, see, there is inherently the beginning of the problem. I don't have the evidence that says the evidence to support the evidence, besides the fact that I already assume that the government is spying on everything that we do anyway.
Right.
So, I mean, kudos to Facebook, I guess. But at the same time, I'm like, if you think Skype's secure, if you think Signal's secure, like the closest thing I could find to security is WhatsApp, and that's just because technologically it's a shit show and there's so many people on it. It's damn near impossible to listen in on everything. Mm-hmm. And it's so international. The scope of it has got to be insane. So, but everything else, I'm pretty sure people are listening on in the first place. But again, yippee dippy to Facebook for quote unquote doing the right thing.
I don't know. Were they though? I mean, when is it viable for a company to give in to the Justice Department and say, yes, you can listen in on this, and without us pushing back? I mean,
that's why I asked that first question.
Because
I need to know what you're telling me that show me that there's proof that I'm going to be giving you this information. Right. That's the whole thing. You got your intel because some guy snitched on you and said, oh, well, they use Facebook for their monitoring. Okay, well, which people are on Facebook and what names are they using? Do they switch up the names? How many accounts am I going to have to give you access to? How long do you have access to these accounts? It's very interesting how that all plays out. And unfortunately, you can't trust the government and what they tell you. So, I mean, security is whatever, but what is MS-13 done that I need to worry about?
That's a whole different conversation for a whole different time.
Totally different show, bro. We're technology.
Exactly.
We're not. I'm just asking the general questions, making people mad if they're listening. That's all I'm here to do. I'm aggravated right now, so people listening have to be aggravated along with me.
Speaking of people you can't trust, Google's been tracking the location of phones without user consent, according to reports filed in the U.S. and Europe. The issue stems from users that initially allowed phone tracking and then paused it. And Google just didn't pay attention. They didn't care. Oh, you paused it? Well, we'll just keep doing what we want to do.
That's not I don't have any tea. Sip on. So I'm just going to open up this here drink. And I apologize, listeners, for slurping in your ear, but I had to sip on that. Again, if you think people aren't spying on you,
yep,
using your information, you're insane. If you think clicking that little tab and turn off location or whatever it's doing anything for you, you're insane. By using these devices that you use generally for free, these services you use for free, know that someone is spying and or listening to you at all times. And if you're a criminal, be a better criminal. And if you're cheating on your wife, make sure she doesn't work for Google. That's all I'm saying, because she's going to find out where you were.
So my big thing on this, I know, just like you said, if there's a company out there that can track you, there are, because there's monetary reasons behind it. But just the philosophy of Apple versus Google on this. Apple says we don't want your information beyond, your personal information beyond what we need to make our normal business, your credit card, your email address, things like that. We don't want any information that you don't want to give us. We're not keeping it. We don't want to store it, anything else. Whether or not you believe them, totally different story. But at least they're saying the right thing. Google, on the other hand, time and time again has proven they want all of your information. They want to know where you are, what time you arrived, what time you leave, who you're talking to, what apps you're using, everything. They want to collect information on everything because Google is an advertising company. They are trying to sell you ads, and the more information they have about you, the better ads they can sell you. For them to go, oh, we want all your information, except this time we forgot not to take your information. It just, like, you don't start with the right message, so I'm not going to believe you on the back end.
Didn't they change their motto from "Do No Evil"? Didn't they take that down?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay,
well,
then.
they'd stopped living by that motto long before that. So,
Oh man, it's again, they don't. They make money obviously, but they need your information to make money, so they have to do these things. And again, they offer so many things for free that you use. It just is what it is, and you have to understand it. I can't even get mad at this stuff anymore, which is a bad thing. The fact that this doesn't bother me or shock me anymore is a problem. And that most consumers don't even know or pay attention or know about any of this. That's the bigger thing.
Yep. And a lot of them don't even understand the harm in it. They don't see why it would be something that they really need to pay attention to in the first place, which is scary enough as it is. Of course, I mentioned Apple. Now, Apple's not in the clear either. A 2011 class action lawsuit against Apple has sprung new life as the Supreme Court seemed unwilling to shoot it down. The lawsuit claims that Apple has violated federal antitrust laws by requiring developers to pay Apple a 30% commission on all sales through the App Store and not allowing iPhone and iPad users another option to buy apps. What do you think about this?
Now, I love anybody mess with Apple's money, but again, it's one of those things that just I get why you're upset about the 30%. Maybe hopefully your class action suit says, okay, let's put it down to 20%, because at the end of the day, if you don't have the Apple Store and you don't have iPhones to put your apps, you don't make any money. You make zero. Or you know what you do? You make a web-based app and have them buy it from your website and or service. But guess what? Unless you're Spotify, that's not going to help you now, is it? Because you and your crappy little app don't have a brand or a way to advertise or to get your name out. So shut up and stop crying, again, unless you're just trying to negotiate a lower fee from Apple. But they don't have to put in an extra store for you. They don't have to put in a side-loading app for you. That's not what they're about. That's not their job. That's not their gig. That's Android's gig for side-loading apps and stuff like that. So kick rocks. But we'll see what happens.
This is one of those things where I don't necessarily agree with the common idea, because a lot of people are like, yeah, I wish I could get my apps from somewhere else. And to me, it just seems like the only people that really care about that are the ones that want to sideload apps, because they can download it somewhere for free and get it on their phone for free. Apple is providing a service to both the consumer and the developer. It's a safe haven. They're basically taking, hey, if you buy apps from us, we've already vetted them. We've already checked them to make sure that there's no viruses and things like that in it. We've already looked at the code. It's good to go. That's a service done for both sides. Now I know I can I can trust more effectively the apps that I buy there. You're going to take 30%? That's fine.
Exactly. Bottom line. Yeah. So, I mean, I again, I love people mess with Apple, but I'm like, what are you talking about, bro? If Apple went away tomorrow, you'd starve.
Right.
Like that, and that's the bottom line.
Exactly.
So we'll see. Hopefully they have a good team together. Like I said, try to negotiate for a better percentage, even if it's 25% instead of 30.
Well, and that's another thing is it's 30% for everyone. They're not picking and choosing who's getting the 30%. It's going in. You knew going in originally when they opened the App Store initially. It's 30% to pay to play. That's what you have to do.
Yep, that's what it is. So Apple's got lawyers for days too. I don't really see this budging or going anywhere.
Yeah. It's it's an interesting thing that the Supreme Court's kind of split on it, even though we've got mostly a conservative court. I don't know. It'll be interesting to watch, but I don't really see anything major coming out of it.
Ditto.
You know who's not starving, though, is Amazon. They sold over 100 million products on Cyber Monday, making it the biggest sales day in the company's history. All told, more than 180 million items sold during the Turkey 5, which is the 5 days of shopping starting with Thanksgiving. There is doubt on how the sales will affect Amazon's bottom line, however, as many of the items sold were very heavily discounted Amazon-branded devices. So
Amazon Echo's $24, $29.
Yeah.
Amazon TV, like now, it's so
those
crazy
have to be
too.
At cost, almost.
Yes, and the people that are buying the TVs are just jailbreaking them and reselling them anyway. The reason that they sell so many of them is because so many people sell Fire Sticks. They're like, oh, I could save $50 off Fire Stick. all right, I'll buy 3,000 of them and then sell them for $75 and make people think they're getting a discount. So, I mean, kudos to Amazon, I guess, cookies. Oh, I finally got an Echo Dot to go along with my Google Home. I got the new one. We'll see how that goes.
So now you got all three of them talking to you, huh?
Yep. They all love me. So we'll see which one loves me the best.
I just got a Google Home device up here, a little smart speaker from Best Buy. It works pretty good.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
No, they're good. They're useful. You only have the one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the best part about them is the intercom feature when you have them like in multiple rooms, so I don't have to yell throughout the house.
Oh, I didn't even know about that.
Oh, yeah. So caveat to that, just side note, Echoes allow you to do a drop message where you could just use a intercom throughout the house, but you can also say, blah, 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 Leah, when you get home, take out the trash. And when she walks in, her Echo has a yellow ring to it, so she knows to check it for a voicemail, basically, that you could leave in the house. So if you just want to leave messages for one of the kids or your wife or something like that, like, oh, I drank the last of the milk, there's no milk left. As soon as they come in, they'll see it flashing and they'll check their messages. So yeah, that's something that Google Home doesn't do, but it does do intercom when you have more than one. You can say broadcast, it'll broadcast to a specific room or through everyone in the house, which is super awesome.
That's nice. I'll have to look into those more often. We use it mostly just for listening to music and getting weather updates.
Yeah, especially if right now is the time to buy them because they're cheap. So if you can find them for $20 or $29, then now's the time to load up on them if you're trying to put them in multiple rooms.
Yeah, definitely. So back to Google affiliate here. YouTube is changing its premium content strategy once again. This time taking many of its originals and placing them on the free-to-watch ad-supported arena instead of being only viewable behind a paywall. While some properties like the popular Cobra Kai will remain behind a paywall for now, others will be available in free windows to all YouTube users. This excites me for only the reason that at least YouTube is willing to play around with an idea that's very fresh. They're not set in their ways, and it shows a little flexibility built into the YouTube platform and how they're perceiving this premium content.
And the fact that no one wants to pay for YouTube Red. So you better do something with all this content you're putting out there. You better find a way to monetize it. That's the real issue. They're also having a Google issue that Google always has. Too many products, too many price ranges, too many options. Which one's what? Am I getting YouTube TV when I get Red? Am I getting YouTube Music when I get Red? Or am I just getting YouTube Cobra Kai shows when I get Red? Like, which one? Oh, this one's $39. This one's $9.99. This one's $11. They need a very ubiquitous thing to explain to people to get, and they're just Google, and so they do a horrible job at that.
Is it still YouTube Red, or is it YouTube Premium now?
I don't know. See, there we go. Part of the problem again. YouTube Red, it's YouTube Premium. I'm being facetious, but that was part of my point of saying that they have issues with their branding. Music Premium, Family Plan, YouTube Originals, YouTube TV, YouTube Change the Mammy Jammy channel. Next story.
Well, they're going under some scrutiny right now internally as well, because they have some YouTube or some Google employees are concerned about Google starting up a censored search engine in China, so much so that they're raising hundreds of thousands of dollars in order to have a strike fund if YouTube continues to press forward with the plans. What do you think about Google China?
I don't mess with China. China do what they want to do. Google think you want to be Googling over there in China. Good luck with that. I mean, you're just trying to expand your market. But I put this story in because it was a story. Not so much that I care about it, but Google be pressing his luck and people be messing with China. And I'm not trying to mess with China right now. That's all I know.
Now, what do you think about the trend? This makes the second major issue in very recent time that Google employees have taken a financial stand against the company. First with the walkout, having to do with sexual allegations or sexual assault allegations, harassment allegations, that they're still in the continuing negotiations with, because Google hasn't submitted to all of the employees' requests, but they've done much more than they had before. And now with the Google China, employees are once again saying, "Hey, no, this isn't what Google is about. We're about a free and open internet and making sure that everybody can find the information they want, not subjecting us to ourselves to censorship just because we want another piece of the population."
Again, hopefully to enrage listeners, I'll just sum it up with white privilege.
Wow, I'm being the resident Caucasian on this program. I'm not sure how I take that, so we're just going to go ahead and close the show out.
Okay, so okay. What do you think the percentage of Caucasians are that work at Google?
Oh, I'm sure
40,
I'm sure it's really
50?
high, like 70.
Like 70?
Yeah.
70% of white people working for one of the richest companies in the world can afford to say, "We're going to take our money against you, boss, and you're going to do what we want, boss, and you're not going to fire us, boss." But most people can't do that at their job. They have to shut up and shovel the snow.
Yeah.
But not at Google. So I'll just say white privilege again. All hate mail, send it to Owen at IQMZ.com. I'm in a bad mood today, so if I have to suffer, you, the listener viewer, have to suffer also.
In case you're not a sports person, the Eagles lost today to their rival, the Cowboys, in a last-second overtime play that really just it didn't turn out too well. It didn't look very pretty.
It's just a bad day. We got any more stories, Doctor?
Not unless you count the Patriots losing to the Dolphins with some laterals, which was amazing.
The lateral, that was a beautiful thing. It was so fun to watch that until my crushing defeat. So I really don't even care. Side topic: Tumblr is getting rid of all of its pornography.
And it's already flagging some innocent images as pornography as well. So,
yeah,
that'll be fun to see flesh out.
Tumblr's gonna die.
Yeah.
And sorry, Tumblr.
Yeah.
Because my daughter's website's on Tumblr. It's free. It's useful. It posts whatever. They have a lot of great features. They missed their window to explode. And when they sold to Yahoo is the death trap to all applications. But this is the final nail that's going to be in their coffin. I love them because I use them to drive a lot of free traffic, but they're changing things. So no longer will I be backdoor using Tumblr.
So
times are changing.
So does this begin the official Tumblr death watch clock?
This is the beginning of the tumble for Tumblr. I tickle myself. But yes.
We noticed. Where people would like to tickle you more personally themselves, where can they find you?
Don't look for me this week. I don't want to hear from you unless you're mad at me for what I said earlier. But just don't worry about where I'm at. I'm not in a good mood. Don't come look for me. I'm just going to skip it this week. I'm not on the internet. You can't find me. What's my shirt say? Incognito. That's me this week. I'm out here. Incognito. Where can people find you at?
Find me on Twitter at Ethan Kane, and I'll happily forward all of the messages you send me back over to Owen because he doesn't want to be noticed on the internet this week. And we will see you next week with more rundowns of more top stories from people who are passionate about all things electronic.
And I promise to be more upbeat. Bye.
Why are you making promises you can't keep?
I can too.